You know, nobody really tells you how weird it feels when your house suddenly becomes too big for your life. The kids are gone, the rooms are quiet, and one day you realize you've somehow turned into the caretaker of a museum full of memories and mismatched furniture. Downsizing sounds easy on paper, but it's deeply emotional. What if I told you that clinging to a home that's too large might be silently draining your energy, your finances, and even your peace of mind? As a doctor, I've seen countless seniors navigate this, and I assure you it can be one of the most refreshing, liberating chapters of your life if you do it right. In this video, I'll share 10 profound truths about downsizing that no one really talks about. Knowing these secrets won't just help you pack, it could truly transform your golden years. Stick around, because what we're about to uncover could redefine what home means to you. 1. Reclaiming your time. Have you ever found yourself just tired after a long weekend, not from fun activities, but from a relentless list of chores? Cleaning the gutters, fixing that leaky faucet, mowing a sprawling lawn that seems to grow faster than your grandkids? Many folks think downsizing is just about saving a few bucks on the mortgage or utility bills, but they're missing the biggest gift of all, your precious time and energy. You see, when we're constantly facing an endless to-do list for a big house, it's not just a physical drain. It can quietly, persistently trigger those stress hormones like cortisol, keeping our bodies in a low-grade state of alert, and that, my friends, leads to mental fatigue, physical aches, and just a general feeling of being worn out. As we get a little older, our bodies naturally don't bounce back quite as quickly, right? That vibrant energy we once had isn't always there on demand. So, maintaining a large home, with all its demands, pulls deeply from an energy well that isn't as easily refilled. That's why you might feel perpetually tired, a bit sluggish, or just not as excited about hobbies you once loved. It's a clear sign that your house might be running you, instead of you running it. Lifestyle studies, looking at thousands of folks just like you, show that older adults who make the switch to a smaller, more manageable living space often report a significantly higher sense of happiness and personal freedom. I remember my good friend, Walter. His old place was a rambling, beautiful 3,000 square foot home. He used to joke that it was his full-time job with no pay. Between the roof needing patches, those endless flower beds demanding attention, and cleaning out guest rooms that hadn't seen a guest in years, Walter felt constantly behind. He never had a moment for himself. So, he took the leap, sold that big place, and moved into a cozy 2-bedroom apartment with a small, inviting porch. The other day, he told me, with a twinkle in his eye, "Doc, I finally have time to just sit on that porch I used to dream about." He finally got his Saturdays back. That's a feeling you can't put a price on. So, here's my advice. Imagine waking up this coming Saturday morning, sipping your coffee, and realizing there isn't a single urgent chore demanding your attention. That feeling, that freedom, is absolutely achievable. Let's start looking at downsizing not as giving something up, but as a powerful way to reclaim your weekends, those quiet afternoons, and yes, even those well-deserved naps. This isn't about being lazy, not at all. It's about smartly prioritizing your personal health and happiness, which becomes even more important as we move through life. If reclaiming your time sounds exciting, do me a favor and comment "freedom" below. 2. Stuff shrinks, but life doesn't. Now, this next point can be a bit of an emotional curveball for many. Have you ever worried that moving to a smaller place means saying goodbye to all your cherished memories, or somehow living a lesser life? It's a common fear, this idea that less square footage means less joy. Our brains, you see, are wonderfully complex. They often attach deep emotional value to objects, making the thought of letting go feel incredibly difficult. It's not just stuff, it's a part of our story. But here's the flip side. When we accumulate too many possessions, especially things we rarely use, it can lead to what psychologists call cognitive overload. Our minds subtly feel busier, more cluttered, and sometimes a little anxious, simply because there's so much to process, even in the background. As we get a bit older, our capacity to process information and make decisions can slow down a touch. Facing a mountain of belongings can add unnecessary stress and even lead to decision fatigue. So, if you've ever felt a little overwhelmed, a bit suffocated, looking at packed closets, a crammed basement, or kitchen cabinets overflowing with things you haven't touched in years, that's your mind telling you that the stuff is actually controlling you, not the other way around. Experts in home organization and even psychology largely agree. Decluttering your living space can dramatically improve your mood, cut down on stress, and sharpen your focus. I distinctly remember helping my lovely neighbor, Ruth, downsize after her husband passed. She opened her kitchen cabinet, took one look at a stack of casserole dishes, and just burst out laughing. "Doc," she chuckled, "why on earth do I have 8 of these? I haven't cooked for a crowd since 2009. It's in those little moments that we truly see it. So many of our possessions represent old versions of ourselves. Each one tells a story. But you don't need to live with every story. You've already lived them. Ruth told me something profound when she started letting go. "I don't feel like I'm losing anything. I feel lighter, like I just shed a heavy winter coat I've been wearing too long." So, my advice here is to gently shift your mindset. Instead of worrying about what you might lose, think about right-sizing your life. That means only keeping what truly serves you, brings you comfort, or genuinely makes you smile. Start with a simple rule. If it doesn't fit those criteria, let it find a new home. You're not losing life. You're making it sharper, more focused, and ultimately, more meaningful. It's not about living with less, you see. It's about living with just enough. And that, my friends, is a huge difference. If the idea of right-sizing your life truly resonates with you, why not comment "right size" right now? 3. Embrace your new rhythm. Smarter space. Now, for our third point, many people just focus on finding a smaller house. But I'm here to tell you, it needs to be a smarter house, one that truly fits your current rhythm and needs. Have you ever simply assumed a smaller home is just, well, a shrunken-down version of your old one? That's a common oversight. Our living environment has a direct, undeniable impact on our daily habits and our physical well-being. A well-thought-out layout can actually reduce your risk of falls, something we all become more mindful of as we age, and it definitely boosts your freedom of movement. Because let's be honest, as we get older, those little things like stairs, dim lighting, or cluttered hallways can become surprisingly big hurdles. They can start to chip away at our independence and even our safety. So, if you find yourself struggling more with stairs, or constantly bumping into furniture, or feeling a little less steady on your feet, those are clear signals that your current home might not be supporting your life's rhythm anymore. Architects and specialists in elder-friendly home design consistently highlight the absolute importance of single-floor layouts, wide pathways, and abundant natural light. These aren't just trendy design choices. They're crucial for enhancing the quality of life and ensuring safety for seniors. I'm thinking of my friend Sam. He learned this lesson the hard way. He moved into a charming 2-story cottage, thinking it would keep him feeling young and spry. But after a year of trekking up and down those stairs every time he forgot his glasses, he sighed, "Doc, I think I've hit my lifetime step count." He ended up moving again, this time to a wonderful single-level apartment, and now he absolutely swears he's never going vertical again. When you're looking for a new place, think about your future self. Choosing a single-floor home isn't giving in. It's smart planning for comfort and safety. And hey, don't underestimate the power of quiet. In a smaller space, that squeaky floorboard or a loud fridge can feel like an uninvited roommate. So, my practical advice, when you're house hunting, don't just look at the size. Really envision your daily life there. Where will you drink your morning coffee? Where will you read your favorite book? Which spot brings you the most peace? Let's start looking for a space that isn't just smaller, but truly smarter, where every corner supports your daily rhythm. If you think a smarter home layout can make a real difference in your day, why not comment "Smart Home" below? 4. Community and familiarity matter more than you expect. Now, here's a crucial point many folks overlook when thinking about moving. They often get so wrapped up in the number of rooms or the kitchen layout that they forget about what's outside those walls. Have you ever considered that even a perfect little house could leave you feeling lonely if it's in the wrong place? You see, we human beings are social creatures, through and through. And for us in our golden years, those social connections become even more vital. A lack of interaction can sadly lead to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and even depression, which can then negatively impact our physical health. When we retire and our daily routines change, those social relationships become incredibly important for maintaining our mental well-being and that all-important sense of belonging. So, if you've ever felt a pang of missing those small chats, the familiar smiles from neighbors, or the friendly cashier at your local grocery store who knows your name, then you understand. These little flavors of life are often underestimated, but they add so much richness to our days. Research has consistently shown that having a supportive community and strong social connections is a key factor in helping older adults live longer, happier, and healthier lives. It's not just about the people you know. It's about that comfortable feeling of connection to the daily hum of life. My friend, Helen, is a perfect example. She sold her big family home and moved to a quiet suburb a couple of towns over because the house there was an absolute steal. But after just a few months, she called me, sounding a little down. "Doc," she said, "it's beautiful, but I feel like I'm living on the moon." No one waved, no one chatted. The neighborhood was full of younger families, always rushing somewhere. She eventually moved again, back to her old town, into a charming small apartment right above a local bakery. Now, she jokes that she smells fresh bread every morning and hears all the local gossip every afternoon. And she absolutely loves it. So, before you make that big decision, take a walk around the neighborhood of your potential new home. Stop by the grocery store, grab a coffee at the local diner, and just listen to how people interact. Does it feel warm, welcoming, real? Let's start prioritizing that sense of connection. Because trust me, a smaller house in the right community beats a dream house in isolation any day of the week. If you agree that community is truly priceless, go ahead and comment "community" below. 5. Emotionally freeing, not just financially smart. Now, let's be honest, most of us first start thinking about downsizing because of the money. Lower mortgage, smaller utility bills, less property tax. It all sounds pretty good, right? But what many folks miss, and what often comes as the biggest, most pleasant surprise, is the immense emotional freedom it brings. Have you ever felt your large home become a heavy burden of memories, where every corner seems to whisper about a phase of life that's passed? Living in an environment filled with objects that constantly remind us of the past can make it harder to move forward and embrace the present. Our brains are constantly processing these subtle signals, which can sometimes lead to repetitive, perhaps even negative, thought patterns. As we age, our ability to adapt to life's changes can become a challenge. A large home can, at times, become a powerful symbol of a bygone era, subtly preventing us from truly starting a fresh chapter. So, if you've ever felt stuck in the past, struggling to fully enjoy the present, or just overwhelmed by the sheer responsibility of maintaining a large house, that's a clear sign of an emotional weight you might be carrying. When he finally sold it and moved into a smaller, sunnier condo by the lake, he called me, almost breathless. "It's like I can breathe again," he said. "The memories came with me, but the heaviness didn't." Isn't that just a wonderful thought? So, here's the practical step. Give yourself permission to let go of the past and live fully in the present. A new, smaller home, one that no longer demands so much from you, will liberate you from that emotional burden. Let's start looking at downsizing as a golden opportunity to stop worrying about impressing others. You'll live for your own comfort, not for show. And truly, the simple joy of being able to clean your whole house in an hour, knowing exactly where everything is, and having fewer things to worry about breaking or maintaining. Well, that's priceless. If you've ever felt trapped by your past, comment "release" below to embrace that emotional freedom. 6. Pick place before furniture. Now, this next one is a mistake many folks make. They try to cram all their old furniture into a new, smaller space. Have you ever thought you could just bring everything from your old house and see what fits? That can quickly lead to a cramped, uncomfortable home. Ill-fitting furniture, you see, can actually impede the natural flow of energy in your home. It creates bottlenecks, makes movement difficult, and can honestly make you feel a bit trapped. Our habits and tastes evolve over time, and the furniture that perfectly suited one stage of life might just feel out of place in your current chapter. If you've ever found yourself squeezing past a sofa to get to the kitchen, or felt like your dining table was eating up the entire living room, those are clear signs your furniture isn't serving you. It's hindering you. Interior designers emphasize the critical importance of choosing furniture proportional to your space, especially in smaller homes, to maximize comfort and utility. I vividly remember doing this myself once. I hauled my big, comfy recliner, the one that could practically double as a spaceship cockpit, into my new, smaller living room. It looked ridiculous, honestly. It was like trying to park a bus in a one-car garage. I loved that chair, but the truth is, It belonged to a different chapter of my life. I know a lovely lady named June who did this beautifully. Before she bought a single piece of furniture, she spent a week just living in her empty new apartment, reading, eating, moving around, and figuring out where the light fell. Then, she bought only what fit her current habits. She told me something I'll never forget: "I built my home around my day, not my past." Brilliant! So, my advice is this: before buying new furniture, spend some time in your new, empty space. Feel the light, imagine your daily routines, and then choose pieces that genuinely fit the life you're living now. Do you really need a dining table that seats 8? Or perhaps a cozy armchair by the window is what you truly crave? Remember, furniture is a bit like friends. Some stay with you for life, others are perfect for a certain season, and some, well, were never really your type to begin with. If this unexpected advice makes you say AHA, then comment AHA below. 7. Emotionally ready for empty walls and fewer rooms. Alright, here's something not enough people warn you about. When you first walk into your smaller home, especially after years in a big, memory-filled house, it can feel quiet. Too quiet. Like you're living inside a shoebox that someone forgot to fill with life yet. Have you ever worried that a smaller house would feel empty, even lonely? It's a very natural concern. A sudden change in environment can trigger a temporary sense of loss, and our brains simply need time to adapt and forge new emotional connections with this fresh space. That old home held countless memories, and leaving it can certainly stir up feelings of nostalgia and sometimes a little sadness. If you felt a bit adrift or noticed echoes sounding louder in your new rooms, those are perfectly normal emotions when you're embarking on a new chapter. Environmental psychology experts confirm that after an initial adjustment period, people living in smaller, well-designed spaces often report feeling cozier, safer, and more at ease, precisely because everything is within reach and there are no neglected, dead zones. My friend Roger told me he stood in his new living room on the first night, surrounded by boxes, and felt like a guest in someone else's house. But 2 weeks later he laughed and said, "Now I can't imagine living anywhere else." Turns out, the walls just needed some new stories. That's exactly it. Homes don't feel warm because of their size. They feel warm because of what you do in them. So, my advice is not to panic if it feels a little bare at first. That's not emptiness. That's possibility. It's a clean slate. Give yourself time. Let your new space grow around you. Hang your favorite photo, put on your beloved music, let your laughter and the morning kettle fill the air. The warmth comes after the boxes are unpacked, and after you've spilled your first cup of coffee on the new floor. That's when it truly becomes yours. If you think less can truly be more, go ahead and comment "less is more" below. 8. Make your storage intentional. Okay, now let's talk about storage. In a big house, you could get away with hiding things. You had closets that could fit a small army and basements that acted as time capsules. But once you move smaller, every inch matters. Have you ever noticed how clutter in a small space doesn't just look bad, it feels bad? It clogs the energy. A messy environment, you see, can actually elevate stress levels, make it harder to focus, and even mess with your sleep. Our brains get overwhelmed processing too much visual information, leading to mental fatigue. The old habit of just accumulating things simply won't work in a smaller living area where every square foot is precious and needs to be used smartly. If you felt weighed down by piles of stuff, or noticed how a single stack of mail in a small home can feel like it's silently judging you, then it's definitely time to rethink your storage strategy. Experts in home organization confirm that intentional, well-thought-out storage systems not only maximize space but also reduce stress and create a much more harmonious living environment. My friend Doris put it best: "I used to have a whole basement full of things I might need someday. Then I realized, someday never came." So when she downsized, she got creative. She used underbed storage bins, multi-purpose furniture, and even a coffee table with hidden compartments. But most importantly, she only kept what she actually used. The rest, she let go of without a shred of guilt. So, here's the key: instead of asking, "Where do I put this?" start asking, "Why am I keeping this?" Every item you keep should genuinely serve your present life. And let's get intentional with storage. Use smart solutions: a few nice baskets, some well-fitted shelves, maybe a chest that doubles as a bench. When everything has its place, your home suddenly feels twice as big. You're not running a museum, you know. You don't need to preserve every piece of your past. What you keep should serve your present. If you're ready to redefine your storage, comment "Organize" now. 9. Flexibility beats perfection. Now, here's a truth I learned the hard way. When you move into a smaller place, things rarely turn out exactly the way you imagined. That sofa you thought would fit perfectly might look awkward. The quiet neighborhood might have a dog that barks at clouds. The kitchen counter might be just a bit too small for your famous Sunday pancakes. Have you ever thought your new home had to be perfect down to the last detail? That pursuit of perfection can actually lead to constant stress, anxiety, and endless dissatisfaction. Embracing imperfections helps free your mind and boosts your adaptability. Learning to accept and adjust to small changes, especially in our later years, is a vital life skill that helps maintain a positive outlook.